I like how the bubble's bursting and reality is slowly settling in. Where the media, the government, you'd honestly think that like the police and the military would even jump in to say, okay, look, you don't need to know this or show this, right? Like, case in point, the Christchurch shooting. Now, I never watched it, and I don't suggest anybody do watch it, but it was circulated and it did piss off the Muslims. It did, incite anger, violence, as it would, right? Like if it happens to any other religion, like they would feel, you know, upset, rationally speaking. Um, and it's almost kind of weird and funny, right? Because we had this censored mass shooting recently, and it kind of drew a comparison. I wouldn't even say a comparison. I would say like a similarity, almost identical, between incels and communists. And the similarity I want to draw between these two groups of people is their reliance on other people. Like, ladies and gentlemen, when I talk about, subhumans and like all that fucking bro science bullshit and stuff, right? I'm doing it in the sense that when you're referring to these groups of people, they are 100% reliant on outside sources. Like, we all got to eat food, fine, right? But how many people can actually grow food? How many people can actually, like, right, cook and prepare it? It's actually becoming a law of diminishing returns. Like, and I don't speak for anybody, but I've been noticing a trend that a lot of women are detesting men for many, many reasons. And it's the number one primary reason is that there's this idea, right? That everybody fits the criteria of the hardworking man, where they go to work and they give it their, like, I don't know, 90 to 100%, and then when they're home they don't have any energy left for anything, and maybe they can play with the kids or walk the dog, but like, it's just like, I'm just gonna chill. You take care of these chores, you do this, you do that, and for a small amount of time that would be okay, right? She'll cook, she'll clean, she'll do whatever, right? But people are human beings, dude. Inevitably people are gonna snap. And then when you realize that, like, you're de facto taking care of a big ass grown man child, like it's becoming woefully and awfully apparent that, like, why did I get married? Why do I have kids with this guy? Why even reproduce? Why even procreate, right? Reality sets in. I think the biggest wake up call in light of Henry Nowak's passing was the media's like frequent reliance and almost complete adherence to the mantra "diversity is our strength." And they sold themselves into a corner because yes, it looks good on camera when you have a bunch of people dancing around and doing the same stupid shit that pisses everybody off. But it's like, oh, you can't say anything against that. I'll say something against that, right? Because I'm brown, so it's not technically racist. Um, put your arms down. Nobody wants to fucking smell your BO stench, you fucking retards. Well, that's just my opinion. Like, dancing it up on Canada Day because yes, these Punjabis have making up Canada and shit for some reason, which they don't. Their country's a failure. They have almost an unreasonable amount of crime, rapes, murders, extortion. I think the big one here, even in Brampton, is like they go up to like businesses and houses and they shoot the place up. They extort them and shit. Yeah, they bring that shit from back home over here and stuff. Which is why, like, when you have countries, right, where I could just bribe the cops if I have enough money. What the fuck is the justice system? What the fuck is law and order? It's just like an excuse. Anybody with the right political opinion, anybody who's like masochistic, anybody who even has like access to like secret codes on the dark web to access child porn, wherever the fuck they, you know what I mean? Ugh. And you know what? I want to be wrong about that. I really did. I wanted like in a perfect world, like the white people to have like an actual like understanding and like almost technological superiority on the internet and like whatever and this and that. And then I realized the intellectual gap between the generations. Like Gen Z, I don't have anything against them, but I ever since they were kids, some asshole put a fucking tablet in front of their face and cell phone in their hands, and they go to class with their cell phones and shit. You don't even think about what that will do to a human being. They were human beings, dude, and then like you overstimulated them with the internet at what the age of single digits. Like, you know what I mean? Like, would you give a kid an excessive amount of sugar to the point that they go diabetic? Or caffeine for that matter? I remember my parents would like yell at me if I drank too much Coke because it had like caffeine in it and shit. They say I'm too hyper. And, and it's like, those kids, they grow up in a world where the harsh realization that we're all gonna have to start suddenly like deal with as time moves on, and the most expensive thing isn't gonna be cars or clothes or any of this useless bullshit that we have now. In fact, I have a theory that all this hyper consumerism is a way to deplete people's uh, funds, salaries, bank account, to like prevent them from owning property, because property is going to be the big one in the future. Just everybody gunning it for property, and you're going to have like special interest groups. We only like to sell to like our own like ethnic group within this country, or yeah, Orthodox Jewish areas, Islamic areas, and then like all the other ethnicities are going to start complaining. They're going to get their own areas and shit. It's a fucking retard fest, because guess what? We don't need inbreds anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to say like, give up your culture and forget who you are and shit like that, but like, think about why you're doing what you're doing. Are you actually fighting for yourself, or are you fighting for somebody else? Like, if you rationalize, most likely you'll figure out that like you're always fighting for somebody else. You join the army, you're fighting for somebody else. You join the police force, you're fighting for somebody else. You join a gang, right? Etc. Etc. Like, the only time I think that like it would be justified is if it was your immediate family and shit. But then like if your relationship is tenuous at best with your siblings, I don't hold anything against you for that. But what of the rest of the world? I was seeing this like white dude talk to his like, I guess, parliament or like some committee or something about like the usual people coming in the country, and like how come they're like illegals and they get like treated like fucking kings, and we're like constantly like bashed and shit. And you can see the contempt of the older generations towards the younger generations, and I think it's in the teeth. It is, right? Man, these people be ugly, dude. Ugly people be jealous. Ugly people, fat people. Not like, I'm not trying to generalize, because I know some fat people, they're pretty okay, but like, those types that like, you do too much. Oh shit. But we have to like also discuss what they did to their own. Like, these people, they don't give a fuck about their own kids, man. Their kids didn't deserve to grow up in a world that painted them as the bad guy. And we all know, like, that's a fucking horrific experience to live through. Which is why I implore these guys to like listen to their elders, go to like an Islamic or a Sikh country, or like whatever place I'll take them in, because this shit ain't going away, man. The amount of people I see talking about Henry Noah is actually fucking ridiculous, and they're all angry at the same thing, that he didn't get Vikram handcuffed, but you know he died in his handcuffs. He like died in them. And the detail that I think a lot of people missed, right? And I don't know if I pointed this out in my last video, but like because the video was censored and stuff, I didn't actually see it because it's just like a gigantic block over him and shit. Like he got stabbed in the face, in the face. Also in the chest, but like in the face. Like the chest one was probably like the fatal one, right? But I'm just saying, like in the face, for real. And I hated it because not only was I so right about this, but like it's such an obvious thing. Like you see Vikram, right? You see the 45-degree angle of this guy's skull. Like if his head was buried in the sand, like he was doing like one of those like prank thingies where like I don't know, they buried him in sand, or he just like I don't know, jumped in the sand or something like that. I was like riding a bike or doing with like got a skateboard or whatever. I could get like a fucking jump off of his head, right? Like a fucking ramp. These are like Tony Hawk fucking trick skating off the pro skater shit off his fucking scalp. Like, and the whole idea was, right, that he didn't want Henry to film him with a phone. You know? I mean, is it really that much of a stretch to understand that, like, the jealous, the undesirable, the unwanted will always seek to kill the desirable? Yeah. Yeah, it is like that. Uncontrollable jealousy from a group of people who are undesirable, unwanted. Spend their time. What the fuck was he doing? Well, I think he's like close to his house, but like outside of his house and shit. What was he doing? You know, blazing. You know. I wonder, like, is there any pictures of this guy with a girl, a girlfriend? I don't know. I don't think so. And he gets his life washed like that. Gets put away every day, gets raped in jail. Gets to the point where he complains to the guards. The guards don't care, but you know, they don't want any higher authorities to get involved, so they hear him out, put him in isolation. Check up on him every 15 minutes. Very, very special kid. Very special kid, you know? Going insane in the membrane. And it's only been a couple weeks. Actually, it's been a month. It's been a month. Time flies when you're free. And you want to, you know, do a fucking lifetime in jail for killing a kid. And also, like, I want to give you more time. The best part is he probably doesn't even know that one. It just like comes out of like out of nowhere, out of the blue. It's like, oh, by the way, I just added like, you know, prison time sentence for you. I was like, what? An extra 5 years? Nah! And then all the boys are like, yeah, yo, man. He's giving it up, man. Oh, and we got to talk about this whole radicalization of the FIFA games now. Like, why? I don't know. Like, okay, this is my experience. You see, people are thinking like this is like Islamic thing, which it is, right? They are Islamic and they are, you know, waving their flags and shit. But like, it's a thing where these fucking retards get so excited over these soccer games. I'm like, yo, calm your fucking shit down, man. It's a fucking soccer game. Are you playing it? No, you fag. Nobody cares. God damn. They take it so seriously. You can't. You like you telling them this? They're like, huh? What? No, you're wrong. I'm right. I'm heterosexual. It's just like massaging the poster. Yeah, it is, man. It is. Like I see Ronaldo popping off in Toronto today. you see, you got a crowd of people and shit, and it just takes me back. It wasn't. No, it wasn't him. It was Messi. Yeah. My bad. It was Messi who came through to that Indian city, and like all it was just like it was like I kind of saw like the echoing image of that. You know, the excitement and these old ass mans and shit. You fucking pot ass belly sticking out. You got your fucking titties out like that. Oh boy, can't wait to see my favorite soccer player. Yo, I'm telling you, man, Rehab Room was 100% right about this shit. 100% right. Oofy doofies, you fucking united, my guy. Oofy doofies united. All in their fucking love of the game. All for their love of soccer. Okay, that's fine. But then they're like, okay, we're gonna win because Allah said so. And then you see the Moroccan team doing these throat cutting gestures. Yo, guy, the fact that like the ethics board doesn't fucking ban your stupid bitch ass out of the fucking league and shit. Yo, fuck up out of here, man. Fucking subhuman trash. And like, yo, people forget. Yo, people forget. Remember ISO Speed? Remember Algeria and shit? Ah, shit, man. Isn't that team like rolling through, or is it another team? I don't know, man. Welcome to P-Bud! Soccer game. But it's like exposed, you know, that idea, that artificial, you know, glory, that artificial fame. The individual has finally defeated the collective. The mob is no longer the rule. Mob rule is gone. We see what mob rule has given us. We've seen the end result of it, and we've seen the children born of that savagery. We all said no. We used artificial intelligence, computer graphics. We used discipline, the thought of descending into madness and becoming one of them. And it's so easy. It's so easy to get lost in the crowd. It's so easy to get lost in your religion. It's so easy to get lost in somebody else's words, dreams, the meaninglessness of it all. And now look at them, all trying, vying for importance, a place in this world which rejects them. A new advancement in GPU technology. It was only a matter of time when Nvidia got too fat, enjoying the riches of AI data centers and, you know, non-commercial retail. Multiple billions. I don't know if they're a trillionaire company. Time is over. The time is over. There's a new Bolt GPU on the market, and it's geared towards us, the developers. Meaning, it is future-proofed gaming for the foreseeable future for years to come. And everyone else, well, you have to fill a stadium, right? You can't have, you know, a spectacle without an audience. At least you've escaped the mob rule, the rule of many. The individual has finally usurped the collective. Humanity has finally evolved past its primitive beginnings. Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice day. Take care.